This is the Piper PA32 Lance, an enduring legend with wings that has been soaring the skies since 1976. She's been around the block a time or two, but the Lance still stands tall among the giants in aviation. Whether you're a veteran pilot or a newcomer, you'll find something to love about this sturdy classic. Here is everything you need to know about the Piper PA32 Lance. First off, let's talk about the cabin. The Lance is a 6-seater, and it's got a pretty spacious cabin for its class. The cabin width is about 3.5 feet or 1.05 meters, and the height is about 4 feet or 1.22 meters. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but remember, we're talking about a small aircraft here. For comparison, a Cessna 182, which is a 4-seater, has a cabin width of about 3.3 feet or a meter. So the Lance gives you a bit more elbow room. The seats in the Lance are arranged in a club seating configuration, which is great for conversation during flight and gives the cabin a more spacious feel. The seats themselves are comfortable and adjustable, and they come with headrests and armrests. The upholstery is typically leather, which gives the cabin a nice, upscale feel. The Lance also comes with a good amount of storage space. There's a baggage compartment in the rear of the cabin that can hold up to 100 pounds or 45 kilograms of luggage, and there's also a smaller baggage compartment in the nose of the aircraft. The cabin also has several small storage compartments for personal items. In terms of cabin environment, the Lance has a good ventilation system, and it comes with cabin heat for those cold winter flights. The cabin is also relatively quiet, thanks to the aircraft's Lycoming IO 540K 1G5 engine, which is known for its smooth operation. One of the noteworthy things about the Lance's cabin is the visibility. The cabin has large windows, which provide excellent views of the outside world. This is not only great for sightseeing, but it also helps with situational awareness during flight. Now, let's talk about the cabin door. The Lance has a single large cabin door on the right side of the aircraft. The door is easy to open and close, and it provides easy access to the cabin. This is a big plus for passengers, especially those who are not used to climbing in and out of small aircraft. Now, let's talk about the cockpit and avionics suite. First off, let's talk about the layout. The Lance's cockpit is designed with the pilot in mind. The instrument panel is logically laid out with primary flight instruments front and center. You've got your standard 6-pack, airspeed indicator, attitude indicator, altimeter, turn coordinator, heading indicator, and vertical speed indicator. All the basics you need for VFR and IFR flight. Now, let's get into the avionics. The Lance typically comes equipped with a Garmin GNS 430 or 530 GPS/nav/com. For those not in the know, this is a combined GPS navigator, VHF communication radio, and VHF navigation radio. It's a workhorse in the aviation world, known for its reliability and ease of use. The 430 has a 4-inch display, while the 530 has a 5-inch display. Both provide clear, easy-to-read information. The Garmin GNS 430/530 includes features like WAS capability, which provides vertical navigation for LPV, LVNAV, and LNAV plus V approaches. It also has a built-in terrain database for terrain awareness, which is a great safety feature. Next up, we have the Garmin GTX 327 transponder. This is a solid, reliable transponder that provides Mode A and Mode C capabilities. It's got a simple, intuitive interface, and it's easy to read, even in bright sunlight. Now let's talk autopilot. The Lance typically comes with a Bendix King KFC 200 autopilot. This is a 2-axis autopilot that provides pitch and roll control. It's got features like altitude hold, vertical speed control, and glide slope coupling. It's a bit older, but it's a reliable system that gets the job done. Some Lances also come with a Garmin G500 glass cockpit. This is a big step up in terms of technology. The G500 provides a wealth of information on 2 large, high-resolution displays. You've got your primary flight display on the left, which shows your attitude, airspeed, altitude, vertical speed, and heading. On the right, you've got your multi-function display, which can show a moving map, terrain, traffic, weather, engine data, and more. The G500 also integrates with the GNS 430/530 and the GTX 327, providing a seamless flow of information. It's a great system that really enhances situational awareness. In terms of controls, the Lance has a yoke rather than a stick, which is typical for Piper aircraft. The throttle, propeller, and mixture controls are located in the center console, along with the flap switch and the landing gear lever. The controls are well placed and easy to reach, which makes for a comfortable flying experience. Finally, let's talk about visibility. The Lance has a large windshield and side windows which provide excellent visibility. This is great for VFR flight, and it also helps with situational awareness during IFR flight. Now let's talk about how it flies. First things first, starting the engine. The Lance is powered by a Lycoming IO540K 1G5 engine. It's a 6-cylinder fuel-injected engine that produces 300 horsepower. Starting it up is a straightforward process. Turn on the master switch, make sure the mixture is rich, the propeller is full forward, and the throttle is open about 1/4 of an inch. Then turn the key to start, and the engine should fire right up. It's a smooth, reliable engine that provides plenty of power for the Lance. Once the engine is running and you've completed your pre-takeoff checks, it's time to taxi. The aircraft responds well to rudder pedal inputs, and it's easy to keep it on the center line. Now let's talk about takeoff. With full power and the flaps set to 10 degrees, the Lance lifts off at about 75 knots. The aircraft requires 1,600 feet, or 490 meters of runway to take off at sea level on a standard day. The climb rate is impressive, about 1,000 feet or 305 meters per minute at sea level. The aircraft feels solid and stable during climb, and it's easy to maintain a steady climb speed and rate. The plane has a maximum cruising altitude of 20,000 feet or 6,100 meters, and a maximum cruise speed of 157 knots, with an average hourly fuel burn of 14 gallons or 53 liters at 140 knots at 6,000 feet. Once you're at cruise altitude, the Lance really shines. It cruises at about 140 knots true airspeed at 75% power. The aircraft feels stable and solid at cruise, and it handles turbulence well. The controls are responsive and well-balanced, and the aircraft responds well to control inputs. The Piper Lance has a maximum range of 1,000 nautical miles, which is 1,150 miles or 1,850 kilometers, and a useful load of 1,620 pounds or 735 kilograms. In terms of handling, the Lance is a joy to fly. It's not as nimble as a sport plane, of course, but for a 6-seater, it's quite responsive. The controls feel solid and well-balanced, and the aircraft responds predictably to control inputs. Turns are smooth and stable, and the aircraft maintains altitude well. Now let's talk about landing. The Lance has a tricycle landing gear, which makes landing a straightforward process. The approach speed is about 80 knots with full flaps. The aircraft is stable and easy to control during approach and landing. The flaps and landing gear provide plenty of drag, which makes it easy to slow down and set up for landing. The landing distance is about 1,700 feet or 520 meters. Touchdown is smooth and predictable. The Lance has a sturdy landing gear that can handle a bit of a hard landing, but of course, we always aim for that greaser. After touchdown, the aircraft slows down quickly, and it's easy to keep it on the center line during rollout. Finally, shutting down the engine is a simple process. Pull the mixture control to idle cutoff, turn off the magnetos, and then turn off the master switch. The engine shuts down smoothly and quietly, bringing an end to a delightful flying experience. The base purchase price for a pre-owned Piper Lance is $100,000 to $300,000 before options, and while the total yearly fixed cost is roughly $15,000 to $25,000, the average hourly operating cost is estimated at $250 to $400. Thank you for staying with us till the end. Here are 2 videos you can watch next. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.